Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a week. I don't know if I should say after a bloodshed or continuation of the bloodshed that we had the couple of weeks. The stock market got a beating. The world stock market got a beating for the past week. Let's get into it, guys. I'm a bit feeling under the weather. My sinusitis are a bit inflamed, so you'll pardon me, guys, if I feel like I'm getting worse. And I think I might call it a day early, or I might I might close off my camera. But let's not waste any time, guys. When should we start? Oh God. So we saw the market it kept up on open, but it looks like the dollar is gaining it's gaining strength after the close day last week. So we could be coming back. We see that rejection back to the upside now. So the dollar might be regaining its strength back, but that might not be short-lived. So it's interesting now because we could get a rejection again and it pulls to the lower side, given that right now we are likely to get an interest rate cut. So the interest rate cut will pull the dollar still lower. But let's get into it, guys. I'm not holding any trade for now. I think I got enough beating for last week. Last week it's a red day for me. Um, so last week I entered a trade. Last week I entered, where is this? Uh, oops, oh yeah, yeah. So last week I entered a trade. I took me out and went to my intended direction. Very messed up. So last week I entered a trade, yeah. This was my entry stop loss above. I came back, took me out, and it melted lower. Very frustrating trade, I should say. Should I use blue or black? Yeah. So it was a very frustrating trade. However, asikho lapho, as they say in South Africa. Okay. I feel a bit under the weather, so. But anyway, technically, I'm waiting for an AUD cat shots. I'm waiting for a retest here, and we go lower. That's the technical analysis of it. So I'm just gonna look where we're standing technically. If I get the pullback, if I get if I get this pullback to the upside rating on the 15 minutes of this fair value gap, I might look for shorts. However, it will be determined by my fundamental bias. For now, on my fundamental bias, I only have Euro USD. It's holding support very strong and already is giving me a bullish reading. So I am looking for a trade just to hold there and then to or still continue to the upside. So I'm looking for something like this in this instance. However, I will just be watching closely what's going to happen. And this week there is CPI. So it will be determined by what CPI will CPI save the day. Will the Euro USD continue gaining strength in this instant? Because also CPI will determine the direction. Also, if the Fed will cut interest rate. Because if we were to get a lower CPI, if we were to get a lower CPI, if we were to get a lower CPI, and then chances that interest rate will come down. Interest rate will come down. Interest rate will come down if we're to get a lower CPI. Remember, if inflation comes down, for the Feds to increase economic activities, they have to what? They have to decrease interest rate. Basically, so the idea here, it's inversely proportional. So lower interest rate, lower rate for it to increase the economic activity. So the economic activity and interest rate, they're always inversely proportional. If CPI is extremely high, to lower the economic activities, they have to increase interest rate, and then now we will have that. But however, Euro USD is holding above the 200 MA, and there is this support that's also holding. If we start getting something like this on a 4 hour, I am gonna look to go long. So I think 4 hours will determine my next direction right now. Will determine look what I'm doing. Will determine my next direction. Okay, that's what will let's see the 4 hours. So within that 4 hours, if we were to look closely, 4 hours is holding this fair value gap here or this support. So what I want to see as it's holding this support, I will want to see it trading above this high here on the 4 hour time frame. We have a market structure shift and hold that. Then I will enter long. Fundamentally, it makes sense for me to look for longs on Euro USD. Fundamentally, it makes sense. So, guys, pardon me, I feel a bit under the weather. So I will turn on and off my mic. Also, GBP USD. I do not like the technique. The technical are clean. I am just gonna see the reaction here. Am I gonna get a strong pullback and push back to the upside? If I get that, I think that's more like what I want to see personally. Because if we're to get again, hold this support and trade above, fundamentally it makes sense also. The fundamental spreadsheet that I use will have given me a, a signal to buy back. So I think that's what I'll be looking for now. So given that there's not so much happening in the market right now, I will just quickly look at the technicals. I will quickly look at the fundamentals and explain the fundamentals and my thinking with how the fundamentals are looking like. So just pardon me, guys. Yeah, I have sinusitis. I don't know what I inhaled. So yeah, everything is just AWOL in my body. Hey guys, look at that. I thought I thought gold would hold. Oh, come on. Oh, shit. Okay, 15 minutes past the New York. Okay. Anyway, I thought gold will hold this high, but it broke above. Now it's holding this support again. I am gonna look for something like this. If that happens, I'm gonna look to buy gold because on the fundamental spreadsheet, it is giving me a bullish reading. And to be fair, the reason why it's giving me a bullish reading for now, the reading that why it's giving me a bullish reading for now, there's so much uncertainties in the market, and with so much uncertainties right now in the market, uh, people should be moving into something that is a safe haven, and one of them is gold. But yeah, let's look at into it. I looked at the CO2 report last week. I mean yesterday, Saturday, and big institution started buying Nasdaq. But though it makes sense, remember for stocks, I think now is the right time to buy stocks because Nasdaq from the top from the highest point that it created to to today when the market opened is down 26%. So there does not seem to be a holds up. Look at this. This resistance didn't this support didn't hold. That support did I'll say it didn't hold. So now I will look for something like this. There is that possibility for that to happen. So it is a very tricky space, but if you want to look for stocks, you could be looking into buying more stocks now. Perhaps that is why the big institutions started buying Nasdaq here. When you look at the CO2 data from last week, they bought Nasdaq until Tuesday. So we will see this coming week. What did they do? The reaction of the big institution. For now, they're buying Nasdaq. For now, they're buying Nasdaq. But anyway, let's look at the technique fundamentals, guys, before I go to the second segment of the show, the day trading show. Okay. So when you look at the reason why CPI is coming through, when you look at CPI for the past 3 years, 2022 we're at the highest, started coming lower because first started increasing interest rate. Now, from September it was at 2.4. We started seeing CPI coming back to 3% by January. Now, you look at Feb, it's at 2%, 2.8%. Now, with a recession scares, chances that we are likely, whew, that's nice. We are likely to get a lower CPI, and that will decide for the Fed to to decrease interest rate. Because right now we're at 2% inflation in the 2.8%. Coming back, remember the target is 2%, so now it's 2.8. We are slowly getting back to we are slowly getting back to the required to the required 2%. But now the stock market is down. It's extremely down. If we to look at what already the forecast is, it's we are likely to continue getting up to 2.6. That's by March 2026. We are thinking CPI will be at 2.6. And some of the things that contribute to this inflation, it's is the tariffs. So tariffs bring so much uncertainties. In a way, they are supposed to be inflationary, but the date the employment data, it's not doing as good now. If we're to look at if right now if we're to look at the ADP employment, it was at 155,000, for which if we're to look at what they forecasted, it was at 86, came out at 77,000. There is a slowdown in the economy. When you look at employment rate, the employment rate, uh, this, but anyway, this is not the employment rate that I'm looking for. Just quickly do this. Um, Not you. Anyway, no. How? It's been a while that, yeah, here we go. So when you look at the labor data, uh, you look at the employment rate. Last week when we had, you look at employment rate came out at 4.2%. It's still not something very scary. However, unemployment rate is increasing, for which I don't think that's what the US wants to see. You want to see the jobs data staying stable and CPI coming lower if that it has to do, because you don't want to see unemployment data taking down. Because if you see now unemployment increasing, you want to see unemployment increasing while inflation is coming down. Definitely, recession scares will start to increase because of that. Because the people will think the economy is not doing well, the employment data it's not as stable. While if we to look at the NFP came out at 22,000. I mean, NFP came out at 22 to 8,000. Will You can argue that it came out at 22,000, and previously, you look at what they forecasted, the previous one was 117, which they revised as well. So it's not bad. Also, the jobs data is stable. I think let me stop mumbling. The jobs data is stable. With the stable jobs data and times tariffs, trade war looming, and the trade war looming, it doesn't look good. for it doesn't look good for the US, to be fair. It does not look good at all. But however, so this is me. What will I be looking for? I don't have any trade this week. I was looking for gold. I think that's a trade that I was looking for. I was looking for gold. Uh, for gold, I was looking for longs on gold. I was looking for gold longs. Oh God, hey guys. I was looking for gold longs at this high, but it failed. So I am gonna look for this support to start looking for retracement on a 4-hour time frame to continue higher. So if that happens, I'm gonna buy gold. The reason why I'm buying gold, fundamentally, it makes sense. You have recession scares, number one. Number two, Trump's and tariffs, it's a problem. Also, trade war that is looming, it's also a problem. So, which is good for gold. Also, we are likely to get in our next FOMC, we are likely to get interest rate cuts. So, which is good as well. So, we're looking good. We can't say much. I'll just say we're looking gold to buy gold. So I am gonna look for this support for gold. And if the 4-hour time frame does what I'm looking for, I am gonna definitely buy. So if we to look at the 4-hour time frame, hey guys, I should be on the second segment of the show. I have never, ever, ever, ever been on time, but I will improve, guys. So we are looking for this support here to fade. So for gold, for me to buy gold, I want to look for this resistance to fail, trade above, reaction here to look for longs. That once we trade above here and close above, is an indication that the bulls are coming in strong for gold. But remember, when there's recession, what happens when there's recession? If to be honest with you, um, when there's recession, you have gold. If there's recession scares, gold first sells off. After sell off, gold immediately holds up and start buying back up because people now are buying up. Because when there's recession scares, people want to be strong on cash. Then they start closing in their positions and they start holding cash. Then immediately after, and then uh, immediately after, then they start buying back gold. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for the first segment of the show. Um, let's move to the second segment of the show, the day trading show. Let's get into it. I know I'm a bit late, so I'm not gonna waste time. Let's get into it, guys. Asibo nin with Izalanko in my language. Okay, let's quickly do the analysis. So my target was this higher weekly, but already we have taken that. So the weekly low there. There is a weekly fair value gap, but because it's a PM session, I'm not gonna fuss about it. There's very strong bears coming in. There was very strong bear came in this morning, but however, let's do this. Bulls came in this morning after market opened to push the market higher to the upside. Same thing here. Looks like a bear morning for me. So I think like the AM morning, it was a bit strong bear. Let's look at here. So guys, tell me what's your bias for this morning? I mean for this PM session. So I will call this a gap up inversion. I think if I traded the AM session, I was gonna look for something like a rejection in the 50% of the gap up for the opening for the opening gap up and look for something to go lower. But I don't think now I'll call this a gap. a gap inversion. I'll call this an inversion gap if there's something like that. If there's something like that, inversion gap. It looks like the bulls came through and held the market to the upside. And there is a 4-hour fair value gap just above here. I am just gonna mark this 4-hour fair value gap above. See the 1 hour. Oh God, what's happening here? On an hour time frame, honestly, I still see my my draw of liquidity is to the upside. It is to the upside. Okay, let's see. So 15 minutes. There is this 15 minutes for value gap that it held there. Let me not use something similar to what we are using. Oh, come on. So 15 minutes for value gap that held during the AM session. Um, yeah, my drop liquidity is to the upside, to be fair. My drop liquidity is to the upside, to be fair. I am gonna remove yesterday low. I just don't like it when my analysis has a lot of what do you call this? Has a lot of drawing in it. And so there is another 15 minutes for value gap, yeah? That we could get a reaction like that and push to the upside. As my drop liquidity is to the upside, I think this morning. This afternoon. Interestingly, so there is that 15 minutes for value gap, yeah. Remember, we have already inverted the gap up that it did during the AM session. I think the bulls came in so strong during the AM session and closed the gap that it opened on AM open, the true daily open. It had a gap down. So this is interesting. So it's a Monday, guys. Anything can happen. So I could look for something like this, to be fair. Hold this 15 minutes overview gap and target this 15 minutes high here. I think that's my first target for now. 15M high. If everything happens like the way I'm looking at it, that would be the target. I think that's an AM high. Yeah, that would be the AM high. Because this would be nice to see another reaction there and push to the upside. And we didn't get that on the open on the when the PM open. Hold between this lunch hour range and our lunch hour range today was, yeah, that was a lunch hour range. Not so much activity happened. So I am bullish for this PM session. So tell me your bias. I am bullish for this PM session. 15 high. So what's your bias? I am bullish. It would have been nice to get this reaction, to be fair, guys, and just I think I'm more comfortable taking a trade that looks like this than trying to chase this trade. I am comfortable to see a reaction at that 50 minutes fair value gap and push to the upside. For now, yeah, no. Look at the AM gap down. It definitely gave it an invasion as well. No, I am not gonna look for anything unless I push to the lower side. Yep. Nah. Yep. So if we get a reaction to this here, and then I'm gonna look for longs. I think I am bullish. I am bullish. I think my game plan, I've already explained my game plan for the PM session. So PM session, uh, for the PM session, what I'm looking for coming back to reject at this 15 minutes fair value gap, hold above, and I can target the 1 is to 2 from there. Because looking at it, I do not see a reason for me taking this trade above to say I am gonna look for a break. I am gonna look for a breakout here and a retest to look for longs. I have no reason for me to do that. If it doesn't give me what I'm looking for, perhaps I am not gonna take a trade this morning. And if there's no trade for me, I'm not gonna take it. So for the PM session, guys, I'm bullish. What's your idea for the PM session, guys? Just leave the comment. What's your idea? And my chat looks very plain. Just quickly do this. What's your bias, guys? I win. So another thing that maybe might change my bias, but because it's a Monday, I do not expect so much volume in the market. It's if this sweeps the AM high and we reject something like that, perhaps I could look to come back, target this fair value gap. Because then from there, you could have something like an invasion SMT between Nasdaq and then S&P 500, perhaps it comes and fails to take out the high and also give us the same reaction. Perhaps I could look for short, but if none of this happens, I do not see I don't see a reason for me to take a trade. Hence, I was asking for about your bias to see if I copy your trade idea. And just remember, this does not constitute as financial advice. It's just for entertainment and educational purposes. So please, just be careful. Trading is risky. Come on, dude. What is US30 doing? US30 as well, it's failing to come back here. Because this is basically the major reaction is this 50 minutes fair value gap here. And none of my this thing is looking to give me that. And if you were to look at also the 1 hour here, look at that. Held the 1 hour to the upside. So I think my target for today is set. I do not like US30, so I rather go for Nasdaq and S&P 500. Only if it will give me the trade idea that I have in mind. Or else I'm gonna sit on cash. And I should say last week has been the worst day of my it's been the horrible day of my trading this year. But I should share I bought gold, Harmony Gold. I bought Harmony Gold. Come on. I bought Harmony Gold. I bought Harmony Gold, guys. Yeah. So I am holding Harmony Gold, for which I am in a very good position. I was looking for this support to hold on Harmony Gold. I was looking for that to hold and push to the upside, and decided to enter at this high because I looked at the daily 15 minute the daily fair value gap. We have already reacted at the 50% of the daily fair value gap. I decided to buy Harmony Gold. So I'm holding stocks on Harmony Gold. Um, it's been a very, very strong, and I should say Harmony Gold has been very, very, very strong stock lately. I think year to date, let's see, year to date it's up. Let me just use a monthly time frame. So Harmony Gold year to date it's up. What is this? So year to date, Harmony Gold is up about 66%. Just year to date. Interesting, right? So if you are into buying stocks for long term, Harmony Gold, I think it's the bull for us. Look at this. But it could be overstretched anyway. We could be due for we could be due for a retracement for which whatever happens with Trump and the market tanks give us the retracement that I was looking for on Harmony Gold. And on the 9th of April, ex dividends is ex dividends day, and the payment date for dividends it's 14 April. For one thing I love about Harmony Gold right now, it's because we are close to dividends date, and if they announce good dividends and we get good dividends, we are likely for Harmony Gold to push to the upside, hold this support here, to hold this support here, and then we continue to the upside. So with my stocks, I am starting because when this with this stock market tank, I am looking into buying more stocks for long term. A trade idea that I fumbled management, it was Capitec. I didn't see where Capitec is for this week. Ooh, it's holding nice. Beautiful Capitec. So Capitec is holding nice. I had a trade. I was up 8%. It just tanks all the way down to this support here. So, but beautiful with Capitec. I am looking what Capitec is gonna do. Is it gonna give us a consolidation and a breakout? I am gonna look for a retest there. But anyway, remember this is not financial advice, guys. So these were just stock ideas that I had in plan. And here, the reason why I started fumbling and talking about my stock portfolio that I'm looking for and looking into adding, that's because there's not enough volume here. We are consolidating, nothing much. Let's see. Perhaps we have an SMT. Let's see. No, there's no SMT. I thought we could have an SMT here, but there's not. So perhaps there is. No, there's not. There's not SMT. Ah, God. Yeah, it's not looking good. Come, reject, buddy. Come back here. We could look for buys. And my friend is not doing that. There's not enough volume. So what's your bias, guys? And what stock portfolio are you looking for? What are you looking to buy long term for stocks? What stocks are you looking for long term, long term after the correction? I don't know. I should call this a correction or I should call it a Trump massive sell off. What is it, guys? What should I call it? I need to call someone. Is this a correction or Trump's massive sell off, guys? Doesn't seem that there's too much, there's acceleration, there is enough volume for me to get the trade that I'm looking for, to be fair. Because if we were to look at the 1 minute time frame years, that's holding. You're not gonna just say, because I have to get a trade, I'll look for something like this and just look for where I want to go. Why? It doesn't make sense. So today I came with a plan, and if I don't get what the plan is giving me, I'm not gonna trade today. PM sessions sometimes are boring. PM sessions sometimes are boring, to be fair. So anyway, with this, I don't know if South African will love me if I were to show you this. And the stock market is, yeah, it's been getting a beating, eh? Uh, countries. I'm looking for South Africa, yeah. So if we're to look at the USA GDP, it's at 2.4%. And guess what's the unemployment rate in South Africa? Since we're not getting since we're not getting the moves that I'm looking for, I might as well gossip. So the the inflation, the CPI in South Africa, it's at 3.2%, nowhere close to the 2% target. Um, the lowest we got, it was 2.8%. Now at 3.2%. But the worst nightmare for me when it comes to South Africa is the GDP growth. Guys, how is South Africa expected to be a global player with um, a GDP growth of 0.6 for the final quarter of last year? Like, yeah, here's the GDP annual growth. I'm just going to show you and tell you, Guti, the South African government is taking people for granted. If we were to look at the third quarter of 2023, we're at a negative 0.9%. That's GDP. Where do we expect to go if our GDP growth right now for last year, fourth quarter, it's 0.9%? And if we were to look at GDP forecast, this frustrates the hell of me. We're not looking anything above, like for this year, we're not looking anything above 2%. And USA is about 2.4% GDP growth. So what basically is the government doing to increase trade and just to boost on our GDP? Because uh, our GDP growth rate is terrible. This is our annual growth rate. Uh, Here's the GDP. It's terrible. It's unbearable. It is definitely unbearable for me. You're looking at zero point 0.6. Guys, people in the world are competing. Let me compare the GDP growth of South Africa uh, with the BRICS countries. I'm not even going to use China. I am not going to use Russia. Let me just go to India. Where is India? I am going to use India. I just want to show you the frustration with the South African government. Are they willing to do something for the South Africans, or they just don't care? Where is India? If you see India guys in this, just tell me. Here we go. Here, guys. India, it's a beast. Look at the Indian GDP, 6.2% growth. That was the final quarter. We were at 0 point something. Look at that. This are the government that, sorry, this is a government that it's willing for its people. They are doing something and they're willing to fight for the people. Look at this. Look at this. You're looking at an average of, I'm just gonna quickly do something. You're looking at an average of about 1.6% growth in the past, let me see, in the past 3 years. Yeah, in the past 3 years, you're looking at an average of 1.6% GDP growth rate. That's India. It's also it's also a third world country. And let's come to South Africa. I'm just ranting, guys, because it doesn't look like we have a trade. When it comes to South Africa, this is embarrassing. No, I'm not looking for that. This is embarrassing. Past 3 years, states. Yes, an average of almost zero point 0.2. An average of, oh God, yeah, I was about to say annual growth rate. Look at this, an average of annual growth rate of past 3 years. Yeah, this is terrible, guys. I am just super frustrated. Just zero point 0.9. While we are competing with a country of an average of 2 point something or 3 point something. But anyway, enough about my ranting. Big ups to India. They are doing something. I feel like the South African government should do something about our economy. So what are we looking at here? Consolidating. It doesn't look like we'll come back lower to here to react to the upside. Doesn't look like it. Let me just wait and take this call. No, it doesn't look like we have enough momentum to push to the upside, guys. We do not have enough volume. It's a Monday. I am not gonna force trade. I need to catch someone. Oh, shucks. Let me use white light. You know what? Let me use white light. I'm thinking about something. Let me quickly use white light. Just pardon me, I'm coming. Need to pour myself a drink. I'm back. Mm. The white light is not working, eh? White light, it's not fun, Joanne. I will go change it. I think the momentum is not good, guys. It is good to an extent, eh? Hold on. Bum, 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 bum. So we look like it looks like we are consolidating for nothing. And I don't know, I'll get bored and start doing things that I'm not supposed to do, yeah? Trust me, I'll get bored and start doing things that I'm not supposed to do. Hold on. Okay, come on, man. It looks like we're consolidating with no clear direction. So, guys, yeah, I'm just gonna stay here. I don't know why I'm staying here. I could be catching up on my series, catching up on a book that I was reading, because there's nothing here, guys, to be fair. It's 8:30. There's nothing. We are not getting this move that I was looking for. And I don't see a reason for me being stuck here. I don't see the reason being stuck here. Let me look at the dollar. What is the dollar doing? Okay, good thing is the dollar is pushing to the upside. Perhaps if the dollar could come back to this 50% um, range of the AM session consolidation, I could look to go lower, for which that will give me an opportunity here for the market to come back here. But for today, it's a Monday. I don't think that will happen. I don't think that will happen. Weirdly, in the AM session, I don't think I'm even gonna get anything. None of this thing looks like a trade that I take. Look for continuation to the upside. None. Yeah, nothing in the. I don't think I was gonna get anything in the AM session. The AM opened, we pushed lower. Perhaps I will be forcing a trade. Nah, there was nothing at all today, even in the AM session. Nothing. So why do I think I'll get something here? Even if I were to scalp here, I'm not a big fan of scalping, but no, there is definitely nothing. Hey, man, what's happening here? What the hell did I do? Mm, Yo? Da- um, Oh, it's coming down now. Interesting. Okay. It is coming down. The 1 minute, let me just remove this. So the 1 minute, it's holding this fair value gap here. Okay, something is happening. That's good. That's good. I am getting a reaction that I'm looking for. But let's see. As you go lower, what are you gonna give? Do you have enough momentum to come here and reject to the upside? Let us see. If you do, I'll love it. Is there an SMT here? Let me see. There's no SMT. Yeah. There's no need for me to go long. Short, to be fair. There's no SMT here. Yeah, there's no SMT. So there's no need for me to go to be short. I think I'm bullish. I'll remain bullish. I'll remain bullish. Come on, man. Just do it. Come on. Come on. Okay, good move. Okay. Let's see if we'll get to the rejection point that I was targeting. I still have enough time, to be fair. I still have enough time. Gonna pass. Gonna to 10. So my cut off of taking a trade would be 9 o'clock. So this will be my cut off for taking trade because I don't want to be stuck in this nonsense of a trade. Yeah. So that will be my cut off for taking a trade. Upside that, I'm not gonna look for taking a trade. Good move. So there is good move for Nasdaq to the lower side to look for that upside that I was talking about. So I have 30 minutes before my cutoff time. So this 5 minutes, if it closes and leaves this fair value gap, we are definitely going short to come back to the range to this 15 minutes fair value gap. So if a brave person, perhaps we're looking for shorts. Yeah, for me, that will be this is a proper trade, eh? So there is this 3 minutes, 3M VG, and that's a bearish VG. Brave enough, go short, stop loss above there. Uh, target 1 is to 2. If you're brave enough, does this make sense to me? Yes, it does. Is it a trade I want to take? Perhaps not. You see why I hate staying on the charts forever. But S&P 500 is set up very well for this trade. I think S&P 500 is more clean for the trade that I have in my mind. Yeah, set up properly for this. If there was as a no, no, I'm not gonna take a trade there. I am not gonna even be tempted in taking a trade. I give her Atlee. But it is a good setup if you are looking for shorts. It is a good setup. I said I'm bullish and I wanna remain bullish until the AM session ends. To be fair, that's a good reaction there. 15 minutes. I'm not gonna take that trade. Sorry about that. Guys, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Please. This is not worth a trade that I will take to be fair. I know. Good move. 5 minutes is closed. Let me see the 5 minutes. Yeah. Hmm. You're brave enough, you could take this. Not for me, because there's a clear market structure shift. Yeah. If you're a brave man, definitely this is a trade that you'll take, or a trade that you have taken. I don't think I'm that brave. Doesn't meet my requirements. So no. As I said, I think fair value for me to get a trade was this 50 minutes fair value gap. Above here, nah. Imagine if you enter this trade. Good drawdown, I should say. Yeah, but not my type of soup, guys. Look, if we were to say, okay, we get another low on this 1 minute and hold, one will say, one will say, what is this? I am more comfortable if we're to get something like this and reaction here to go lower. But not for me, guys. No. That's why when I just when I do not see a proper trading idea, I normally shut it down. Sorry about that, guys. My beautiful woman was traveling, so I was just checking up on her. You see my fears about this entering where you don't want to enter a trade. You end up being caught where you're not even supposed to be caught. You end up being caught on unnecessary. You have end up taking a trade unnecessary. I don't think there will be any push to the lower side. My cutoff is 9 o'clock to look for a trade. By the look of things, nah, it's not gonna happen. By the look of things, not gonna happen. Thank God. I decided to wait for the idea that I had. By the look of things, not gonna happen. Yeah, ne? S&P 500, the 3 minutes fair value gap it's holding. Perhaps, maybe, if we indota, you're more a man enough and bold enough and look for something like this. Perhaps you'll take something like that. I guess not for me. Yeah, ne? There's not enough momentum at all. If I were to get very, very strong like that, oh God, it would be beautiful for me. But there's none at all. Though this 5 now the 5 minutes on the S&P 5 Nasdaq it's holding. Is it holding that is tradable? I don't think so. And there was also this 1 minute fair value gap here. So there is a lot of, if you are a person who wanna force a trade in terms of like this, people are aggressive, guys. Someone will enter something like this. But I don't understand why. I wouldn't enter myself. So the reason why I'm saying this is in the middle of nowhere, let me show you. Using the fib, so the reaction that I'm looking for at the 50 minutes of this fair value gap, it's at 50% of the AM range. Rather look for that than anything else. And also, if we're to look at this high to this low, still, this fair value gap, it's at the premium price below the 50%. I think it's about 30 something percent. So I do not see a reason for me taking that trade up there and going short up there. I don't. And as I said, if Nasdaq took out this AM high and maybe it gives a bit of reaction here to come back lower, while S&P 500 fails to fails to take out the high, create an SMT, perhaps I will look for something there. But really, there's not enough volume. There's not enough distribution to the up to or to the upside or to go short. So I don't see for me to just really force a trade. There's no reason for me to force a trade. Rather sit on my money. And as I said, last week has been the worst week of my recent trading days this year. Hence, I'm sitting on cash. I'm just gonna be buying long-term stock. This is a 5 minutes per value gap. Guys, to be fair, I should be resting. For me, nah, just tiring myself for nothing. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Hey, for really desperate scalpers, one will say, yeah, I want to enter here within the range and target this low. Hey guys, that's your baby to care, not me. I okay, sharp. Nah. Anyway, while at it, guys, I saw this beautiful so I saw these beautiful American cars. Americans are coming too strong in South Africa. Hey, they're coming in with a bang. I'm not a Bucky fan, but a person who is into cars, guys, GMW. Tell me about these guys here. What am I doing? GW. Tell me about these guys. Hey, guys, I'll show you now. Oh, nice move to the lower side. I will show you now, guys. Sorry. Yeah, 5 minutes fair value gap. It's holding. Even the side is holding so far, but there's not enough distribution. Okay, fair enough. This 1 minute is holding, yeah. But nah, no, this is not my cup of tea. Okay, I'm just gonna wait until I am just gonna wait until I am just gonna wait until 9 o'clock, then I'll call it a day. Remember, for me, nah, I think when the PM session opened, and if it opened distributing to the lower side to this fair value gap, I was gonna look for long, as I said, but it didn't. That we just stuck in this range. If we were to look at how many pips is this even 8 p.m. session, it's about 300 pips. While look at the lunch hour pips, I'm just gonna show you that the PM session didn't really distribute. Uh, it's about 200 and something, while the other brother is about two 320. So you see, there's not so much difference. There's not enough distribution to one side. Yes, it looks like you're getting a trade that you're looking for, but not for me, guys. As I said, if you're a person who could trade this 1 minute fair value gaps and be stuck in this kind of a price section here, be my guest. Be my guest, but what structure are you using? Like, no, no, not for me. But anyway, um, yeah. So that's why I'm not looking for any trade right now. I think my golden zone for today was this fair value gap here to come back and change character and look to go up. And nothing happened, something like that. I am not gonna force it. I'm just gonna watch. And it's close to my cutoff time to take a trade in the PM session. I don't want to take a trade after 9. Good. Oh, there is good move to the lower side, yeah. Really. But for me, there's not enough acceleration, there's not enough distribution. So I don't see a reason for taking a trade, yeah. 3 minutes is holding, I should say. The 3 minutes and the 5 minutes fair value gap and the 3 minutes inversion. Oh wow. Okay, nice move. Was I brave enough to take the trade? No. Was I gonna take the trade? No, it's not part of my game plan. It is something that you could really take because remember, as I said, uh, in a hindsight right now, it's easy to say, but yeah, Pray could have taken this to go low. Very in a hindsight, it's easy. And to look for, come on, man, to look to move to break even just as it trades below there. In a hindsight, is very easy. But for me, I don't work like that, to be honest. I do not. There's not enough momentum, there's not enough distribution to one side or the other. So why look and force a trade? Nothing. But anyway, guys, so for this last 5 minutes, I saw this beautiful Chinese bakis. I'll share with you now. Is this the one? Nah, let me look at the SM. Uh, okay, let me just quickly. I'll show you now. As the market today didn't have enough momentum, so I'm just gonna show you what I found, guys, for this. So the Chinese cars in South Africa are just beasts to reckon with. Let me show you. Anyone in the chat who is into cars or selling cars, hook me up, guys. I'm not gonna buy a car that is expensive. Hook me up, gents. Um, how do you sort this? Sort from low to high. Let me see. Look at this, guys. Look at this beauty. Is so to me this looks like a P series. Ah, look at this beauty. And the Chinese cars are in South Africa with a bear. So it shows you lane assist with other cars that are around. Hey, Chinese cars, look at this. Ah, guys, come on. For this price, for 670 for a 4x4, come on. Come on. Come on, guys. Chinese cars are a beast. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this, guys. Chinese cars are yeah. But anyway, I am in the market for a Baki. Let's see, what are we having here? Oh, okay. We're still distributing. Good distribution again to the lower side. I love it. So the 5 minutes did hold. Fair enough. As I said, in hindsight, honestly, it's easy for me to say, hey man, you could have taken this trade here, stop loss above, and look to target the 1:2. Where's the 1:2? And look to get something like this. Now you could have been break even. Will I get my longs? Okay. Now we are talking. Will I get my longs? Perhaps, yeah. Now we are talking. Good distribution lower. Okay. Now we are talking. Remember what I said? If you are brave enough, you could take longs there. Yeah, don't work on hindsight, guys. It needs to meet my requirement. But I don't see a reason for me taking this trade, guys. So I am just gonna see. Do we have enough momentum to distribute to this 15 minutes fair value gap? If we do, I am gonna definitely look for longs. But it's like 5 minutes before my cutoff time. Oh, come on. Distribute. See? No, man. There's honestly nothing here. There is honestly nothing. Oh, come on. Give me an SMT with reaction there. Really? Come on. That was a stupid move. Come on, man. Yeah, this will be a pretty good trade. You see, so funny thing when you are trading, I didn't want to take this trade. It didn't meet my trade idea. I did call it, but I was like, no, this doesn't meet my requirement. So now it's already 1 is to 5, 1.5. You see what's funny? In hindsight, right now, because the traders went to the direction that I was anticipating and I was looking for, it's easy to say, but I would have taken this trade. But if it went against me, I was going to say, you see why I didn't want to take this trade. So I just decided to stay out because it never met my trade idea. Ngona ngihlale ngaphandle baba. Kungcono. Okay. Looks like there is an SMT here. There is an SMT here. But to me, it means nothing. It's in the middle of nowhere. So this SMT for me, it means nothing, to be fair. It's in the middle of nowhere. I just want, I would have loved for Nasdaq to still continue coming lower, to come back, reacted that 15 minutes fair value gap that I spoke about. Then I'll be more comfortable in taking a trade. With the one manje, no. I think right now it's not worth it. But anyway, guys, in the chat, let me know. Did you take any trade? Did you guys get any trade this PM session? If you got that trade that I was talking about, big up, man. Big up. You're the beast. You are a hardcore. Also, there is a breaker and a 15 minutes per value gap here. Already, the first trade could be on break. Oh, this doesn't look like it's holding. So you see what I was talking about? Hence, I was looking for this reaction at that 15. So if the reaction happened exactly at this 15 minutes per value gap, I will definitely be looking for longs. After this move, I'll definitely look for longs. Because it's a clear SMT. The reason why I'm not going to look for longs, it's purely because it didn't react uh, where I wanted the market to react. That's when you realize that you need to stick to your plan because, wow, yep, very frustrating. For me, this is frustrating. Is it still gonna give me a movement lower? I don't know. Really. 9 o'clock, guys. I think this is my cutoff time. And I'm gonna look to take a trade again. If it did this and close here, I wanna show you something and close and have a move and it already reacting at this 50 minutes fair value gap. I was gonna definitely say, hypothetically, this will be how my limit is looking like. This how my limit would be looking like only if it came back to this 15 minute fair value gap. But because it didn't come back to this 15 minutes value gap, this for me it's in the middle of nowhere. So there's no reason for me to take this trade. But it is a good structure. It meets all my requirements, but not at my point of interest. So if you're another person that wants to take this kind of trade, you could definitely do target this higher. You could definitely, but because it's in the middle of nowhere, I am not gonna take it. But anyway, just to avoid confusing people, let me remove this. So you guys, please don't forget to like the live. Just leave a comment and tell me what you think about the live and where to improve because I'm still building these lives. We're gonna have this show every day, the PM session. We're gonna have this show and we're gonna do it well every single day except 1 week in a month that I am not gonna do this show. It's gonna improve. We have the first segment, so the first segment between 7 to 20 past 7, where I speak about my stocks and my stock trading ideas and my long term my swing trading positions, and that will include sorry, and that will include fundamentals. What fundamentals I'm looking at for me to decide what I want to do with a specific market. Create SMT, I should say, guys. There's no reason for me to take a trade, to be fair. Yeah, nah, there's no reason, guys. I think time it's gone. Good reaction, good rejection. Still a lot of bearishness coming through. It looks like this 5 minutes fair value gap held very strong. Held very strong. So it depends on what we're looking for in the market. And this came up with a breaker as well. So that 15 minute, hence, hence I always say this in a hindsight, it made sense. You could easily take it. But realistically, if it doesn't meet your plan, of course, definitely you could be at break even now. You could be at break even, and it's easy to say, I am at break even. Market's reacting somewhere there, and it looks like it's still gonna go low. Easy, but did it meet your trade idea? It didn't meet what I was anticipating for the day and my trade idea. Hence, I said this is a 5 minutes for value gap with a 3 minutes for value gap and an A plus setup for how do I put an A plus setup if it was at my point of interest. But because it's not at my point of interest, it's not an A plus setup. And funny enough, look at where my point of interest is here. And I'm gonna look for something like that. Oh, come on. Hi, winner. My point of interest is this low. I am gonna look for something like that. But now I can't because I would want this distribution that happened now to come back lower, reaction on this 50 minutes fair value gap, and we start seeing this kind of movement come on like a consolidation and a trade above, we get market structure shift to push to the upside. And now we'll start to see distribution to the upside. But none for me. None for me. To be fair, I think this is the point when you realize that do not force the market. And hence, I don't like staying in the market until very late, where I'm just sitting and watching the market and ranting about things that I don't see. Because eventually, you end up taking trades that are not part of your plan if you're not as disciplined. because we did open higher. We took out we took out this high. My worry, and I spoke about this after we took out this high. My worry was Nasdaq going to take out the same high. So there's no there's no SMT as well there. So I don't see the reason for taking the trade again. There's no SMT there. But now the distribution to the 50 minute value gap that I was looking for, it's a bit too late to be fair. It's a bit too late. It's a bit too late. Yeah, it's a bit too late. We got a good distribution. It's still distributing to my point of interest, but nah, it's a bit too late. This is Jala. I still doesn't want to distribute to the. Anyways, I'm a guy who loves ranting, so I love ranting and complaining about the stock market. These guys are beastie guys. Yo, these guys are beautiful. But look at this, guys. Who really wanna own this? But tell me, who really wanna own this? This Haval in South Africa, they are giving they are giving the big five a run for their money. Look at this. Where there's so much electronics, so much technology in the well-established bakkies in South Africa, your Toyota, your Isuzu, you could pay a fortune to get something like this. But asikho lapho. Come to distribute lower. Okay, still distributing lower. Though I'm not gonna take a get a trade. I don't know why I'm still here, to be fair. Sometimes you need to accept that you're not gonna get a trade you're looking for. Like right now, I've accepted. I'm just sitting here because I love you guys. Let me see an Isuzu. La, 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 Timax. Okay. What the hell? Um, guys, tell me, anyone with good with Bakis, just teach me extended, no, double cap. I'm looking for a double cap. Oh, let me see. For 2023. Yo, look at this kilometers. Ha, Angizi, I am not coming. Say 2024. Oh, okay, good reaction at my point of interest. Sorry, we are reacting exactly at my point of interest right now. Let me see. 10 past, slightly late. My friend here, did you get the reaction there? I'm looking for this low, yeah. Still SMT. Let's see if I will take a trade here. But it's long past my time, guys, to be fair. Did it really tap? Not really. Nah, not really. Not really yet. Not really yet. Not really yet. Yeah, no. Not really yet. Nah, it's not happening. Sometimes you just have to accept that your trade idea is not happening. And I'll have accepted long, long time ago. Still, I haven't gotten the reaction to my point of interest. The shorts happened, but it's not a short that I was looking for. That's the funny thing about this. It was short in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, there's no reaction at the 15 years yet. This is weird. This is weird. I think this is long time past my time. Come on. I'm just watching these two. If one of them has already tapped into the 50 minutes revenue gap. And funny enough, none of them has already tapped. Let's see if this guy started rejecting. This guy is just rejecting before it reaches the high. So guys, thank you so much guys for joining me. I don't think I'll get a trader. I'll have you all join me tomorrow. Same time, same place. Welcome. Let's trade the PM session. Have a